Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is super exciting. I know that a lot of you guys have been waiting for this video. Today I'm filming my all about the University of Sheffield video. So just a bit about myself. My name is Charlotte. I've just finished my first year at the University of Sheffield. I study politics and philosophy and I live in private accommodation. Today I'm going to talk all about the University of Sheffield and answer all of the questions that you guys have. If you guys do have any more questions, please comment them down below or message me on Instagram and I will get back to you guys as quickly as possible. The University of Sheffield was actually my second choice university. It was my insurance, but on results day I kind of got messed around and all of my grades got lowered, so I didn't get into my first choice, and luckily the University of Sheffield accepted me. Before coming to Sheffield I had never been here, I'd never visited. It wasn't really a place that was on my radar. I was looking more at big cities like Manchester and Leeds, but I also wanted somewhere that was quite close to home. I am from West Yorkshire. Sheffield is in South Yorkshire. It is the most southern of the northern cities. But in Sheffield there are two universities. There's the University of Sheffield, which is a Russell Group university, and there is Sheffield Hallam, which is a non-Russell Group university. So the University of Sheffield is quite an academic university. There's quite academic courses. We have like medicine courses, dentistry, social sciences, normal sciences. There are lots of STEM subjects and kind of just any kind of academic course you can think of, Sheffield will offer. So the actual university buildings are located quite close to the city centre. So I do live in the city centre. The university is about a 10 minutes walk away from where I live. There are quite a lot of different buildings. To be honest, I've only ever been inside one of them, so I can't really comment on what they're like, unfortunately. But from looking on the outside, they all seem really, really nice. And I think the furthest walk you'll have to go on campus is around 10-15 minutes, which isn't too bad. So the student union at the University of Sheffield has been ranked the best in the country for a number of years in a row, which is pretty impressive. Unfortunately, I've not really been able to make the most of the student union because everything has been closed because of COVID, but I am so excited to go there next year and make the most of all the societies and all the things that the SU offers. The one thing about Sheffield that lots of people always talk about is the hills. Sheffield is quite hilly. To be honest, for me as a person from Yorkshire, I'm very used to the hills. Where I'm from, my town is a lot hillier than Sheffield, so to be honest I don't really find it that bad. I personally walk everywhere and I find it absolutely fine, but I know lots of people who come from the Midlands or the South tend to find it very, very hilly. But if you are from the South or the Midlands and you don't really like hills, maybe keep that in mind. I know there's lots of good transport links in Sheffield. There are trams, buses, trains, like it's all like quite good and quick. To be honest, I've never really used the public transport systems here because I just walk everywhere, and I never have to go into uni for this year, so I've just done it all online, so I've never really had to like get anywhere in a rush and use a bus or anything. From what I've heard, the public transport in Sheffield is really, really good, and I think you can get a bus anywhere as long as you've got your student card for £1, which is pretty good. So in terms of the accommodation at the University of Sheffield, there are 3 university owned accommodations. There's Ranmore, Encliffe and Allen Court. Allen Court is based in the city centre, but it's more so on like uni campus, and that one tends to be where more international students live. However, I do find that a lot nicer, and I do have some friends that live there and their rooms are quite nice. And then there's Encliffe and Ranmore, which are the student villages, and they're kind of quite far away from the city centre. They're like a 40-minute walk from where I live, and that's where most first year students live. I'm going to be doing a full in detailed video all about the University of Sheffield accommodations, and I'm going to be asking some of my friends who live there to send me videos of what their accommodation is like, how much they pay, that kind of thing. So I will do more in detailed video about that because obviously I live in private accommodation, so I haven't really experienced living in the student halls owned by the university. So now I'm going to answer some of the questions that you guys had. I've kind of grouped a few of the questions together because I feel like it will be a lot easier answering them in this way. So a lot of people ask me about sports and extracurriculars. So at the University of Sheffield there are so many societies and sports teams. It is kind of crazy. In the first like few weeks there's obviously like Freshers Week and there's a Freshers Fair. Normally I didn't get to go to mine. From what I understand, you kind of go and like look around and they have like different society stalls and you can sign up, and there are literally so many sports teams and so many societies. So personally I did a give it a go session for cheer and SUPAS, which is musical theatre. Theatre Society and obviously the Cheerleading Society. I ended up getting on to SUPAS, which is the Musical Theatre Society. However, we haven't really been able to meet because of coronavirus, so unfortunately I haven't been able to really experience that fully. A lot of my friends are in sports teams, and from what I understand, the sports teams are pretty competitive. There's like a first to a sixth team, I'm pretty sure, and then you can also play on your course teams, which are a lot less competitive and a bit more fun. They train a couple of hours a week, do socials, and they have like a big competition at the end of the year where I think they play against Sheffield Hallam. I think that's how it works. I'm not in the sports teams, so I don't really know, but from what I've heard from my friends, the sports teams are really high standards and they're all really fun. I would definitely recommend joining a society because I feel like it really helps you make friends. I know most people say they make their best friends from societies, so next year when I'm able to properly join the Musical Theatre Society, I will be so happy to join it. I'm also going to join the Paul Sock and Phil Sock, which is Politics Society and Philosophy Society, which are my course societies. However, I don't think it's like essential to join your course society, but I think it just helps you get to know people and kind of like broaden your horizons within your course and open some more opportunities up for you. So a lot of people asked about the nightlife in Sheffield, and I think Sheffield kind of gets overlooked quite a bit for its nightlife. I do think it is quite good, especially for students. Sheffield has a very varied nightlife. There are lots of different things for lots of different people. Personally, me and my friend's favourite club is Code. We really like it there. It's like a cheap student club where they just play like pop music and like club music. I don't know, it's just a good club, good vibes. We think it's really fun there. We went there quite a lot in the first few weeks of uni. Obviously it was all sat down tables then, but soon it's going to be opening properly, which is going to be so exciting. They also have really cheap drinks. I can't remember what night it's on, but there's one night where it's 90p drinks, and honestly you get really drunk, so be careful with that one. I've just made a list of some of the clubs in Sheffield. Obviously I haven't been to all of them because they haven't been open, but there are literally so many. So yeah, Code is our absolute favourite. Viper Rooms is quite nice. It's quite dressy. It's a little bit expensive. I think it depends on what day you go on. Crystal is quite a nice club as well, but I think that's kind of similar vibes to Viper Rooms. There's also Onyx, which is similar to those other two. There's the Foundry, which is the student union club, and I haven't been, but I've heard really good things about it. There's Tank, which has like D&B, DJs. If you like that kind of thing, then you'll love Tank. Unfortunately, it's not been open for over a year, so I haven't got to go yet, but I'm gonna try my best to get some tickets and go in the summer. Tiger Works is like a bar kind of club vibe. It's really nice. They do nice cocktails. Again, it can be slightly pricey, but there's West Street Live, which is like a fun kind of cheesy place to go at the end of the night. There's Corporation and Plug, which I haven't been to yet, but I've heard good things about. There's Lane 7, which is like a bowling place slash bar. I don't really know how to describe it. It's like a bowling place where you like go bowling, but it also has like cocktails and things, so that's really nice. That's like quite near the city centre. There's the Lead Mill, which has lots of like indie bands and things like that. And there's lots of bars, lots of pubs. Literally you can walk around and you'll see like a pub everywhere. There's like 6 or 7 Spoons in Sheffield, so if you like spoons, that's always good. We have like Revolution, Slug and Lettuce, Turtle Bay, like all the kind of normal places that you'd go out for cocktails. Lots of people asked about the city. Is it friendly? What's the vibe like? Is it big? Is it hard to navigate? All those kinds of things. So the city is quite small in comparison to like Leeds, Manchester, London, Liverpool. It's a smaller city. It feels more like a town in the city centre, but I do find it quite easy to navigate. Like I used to get lost in my secondary school till about year 11, so if I can navigate it, you guys will be absolutely fine navigating it, because I am absolutely useless at finding my way around, but I manage okay with my Apple Maps getting around Sheffield. I find it to be a very friendly city. There's like always someone smiling, being like hi when you're walking around, which is really nice. But I think that's just kind of any northern Yorkshire city. I think everyone just tends to be really friendly. There are lots of students in Sheffield, obviously because there's 2 universities. I think there's around 30,000 students. I'm not sure whether that's just at the university University of Sheffield or at both, but there is a lot of students in Sheffield. Overall, it's quite a safe city. There's quite a low crime rate. However, as any place, things can always happen, so I would always recommend to, you know, stick with your friends and be as safe as possible. So Sheffield is very, very green. There are so many trees and so many parks, and I really like that about Sheffield. It kind of reminds me of home, and I just think it's really nice to be surrounded by nature. So some of my favourite parks are Botanical Gardens, Western Park and Endcliffe Park. They're all really, really nice. There's also Hill and Crooks Valley Park, but I don't think I think I've been to Bull Hill once and I haven't been to Crooks Valley Park, but apparently they're really nice as well. So in the summer there's always somewhere nice to go for a walk and to sit down and have a few drinks in the park. So one thing that I find with Sheffield is that there are very mixed vibes. I think it's quite hard to like pinpoint a vibe on Sheffield, because you can go around one street and it'll be like so different to the other street, and I think the kind of people that you meet are all very varied and all quite different. I think that's really nice though, because obviously like you can meet so many different people and experience so many different things. There are lots of small businesses in Sheffield and lots of like cute little cafes and independent shops and things, which I really, really like. Yeah, like the vibes overall are like really, really nice. There's also lots of vintage shops and charity shops, so if that's something that you are interested in, then Sheffield is a great place for that. So overall, my experience with the uni and my course is very limited because of COVID. However, the University of Sheffield is ranked 31st in the UK, which is obviously very good. A Russell Group university, so the research that comes out of Sheffield is to a very high standard. It is second in student satisfaction for universities, so I guess like loads of people do really enjoy it. Obviously with COVID, like my course has been so limited, and if you guys do want to learn any more about my course, I made a full video about that where I go in depth about it. I'll link it down below. But yeah, I find it quite difficult to comment on because obviously I've not experienced the full uni experience yet. So I found that the university tend to be quite flexible with grades when it comes to what you get in your A-levels. A lot of my friends didn't reach the entry requirements for their courses. I didn't get the entry requirements on results day for my course, and I still got accepted. And a lot of people that I know that came through clearing said that the clearing experience was really nice with Sheffield. I do think they are quite a friendly university as a whole. They do give off the vibe that they do really care about their students, and if you have any problems, the SU are always there to support you with that. So a lot of people asked about making friends, settling in, how I found the whole moving out experience. So in order to make friends, I would suggest that you join as many group chats as possible. Join Facebook group chats, join Instagram group chats, ask to be in the WhatsApp chats, literally any that you can join. Just please join them, because you do not know, your like future lifetime best friend could be waiting in one of those group chats. So what I would say is go on Facebook and search University of Sheffield Freshers, search University of Sheffield your course, search your accommodation group chats, literally anything that you can, and just find people and make friends with them. Even if you don't have a Facebook account, which I literally didn't, and I was like, this is so weird, like why am I downloading Facebook? Like I would seriously recommend getting on Facebook, because that is literally where all the group chats are. I'm not sure why. I think it's kind of like the only place where you can make like a big group page of people. You can always just add people on Snapchat and Instagram and WhatsApp. Also, I'd recommend being in the course group chat for your course on WhatsApp throughout the year, because you can always like message, be like, hey, what's the seminar about today? Why is the lecture not working? That kind of thing, and that's always super duper helpful. I'd also say to go out in the first few weeks as much as you possibly can. Be the annoying person that messages people like, hey, do you want to go out tonight? Especially if you're like me and you're living by yourself. But obviously if you are living in the university accommodation and you have flatmates, ask your flatmates to go out, and if they don't want to go out and you want to go out, message your course group chat, message the block group chat, and just be like, hey guys, anyone want to go out? Because there always will be someone to make friends with, and at the end of the day everybody comes to university to make friends. Like no one's going to be like, no, I don't want to be your friend, unless they're like really strange. From my experience, everyone has been really nice and everyone has wanted to make friends, and the worst thing that can happen is a person isn't really for you and you basically never have to see them again, and the chances of you running into them again are probably quite low. So the best first year accommodation is probably Endcliffe. Sometimes I think, oh my god, I wish I lived in Endcliffe so I could be like surrounded by people, because that's basically where everybody in first year lives. but it's just not very nice. I know like not a lot of university accommodations are very nice, and personally I could not cope with flatmates. I couldn't cope with the mess. It would not have been for me. Obviously I live in a studio flat, I live completely by myself. Yeah, basically everybody lives in Endcliffe, and whilst it's not the nicest place to live in the world, if that's something that you don't really care about, then I would definitely recommend going to live there if you're after just a super social experience and you don't really care what your accommodation looks like. But yeah, I hope that you guys really enjoyed this video. Please comment down below if I missed anything or you want to know anything else. If you are interested in coming to the University of Sheffield, I hope that this helped. I would recommend going to look around any universities that you possibly can that you are considering, because obviously as soon as you get to the university you will feel the vibe for yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.